Greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Mekhet. This is David, and we're here to work on a Hekata.
Yeah.
That's fun for my world of darkness. For the Thicker Than Water Chronicle. We're going to be taking a break from our standard characters who are in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And we are going to work on a character step by step together.
Yep.
For a what's happening in Portland while you guys are in Chicago.
Alrighty.
And you've got an idea.
Yeah.
And we're going to go ahead and pull up one of the amazing character sheets that can be found on Mr. Gon's website.
Perfect.
I will put the link to the description for those character sheets. I've been using them
since Dark Ages.
2003.
Yeah.
I've been using them since since the Dark Ages. Yeah, since the Dark Ages. Back when I was still a teenager. But yeah, I've been using them since 2003, and he's probably got the best interactive character sheets I've ever seen. So, not sponsored, but completely endorsed. I love Mr. Gon's character sheets.
Darkness game.
Yeah, for everything.
Yeah.
In fact, I used to use his stuff in conjunction with the old Grapevine format to build character sheets and stuff. It was really good. So I guess we'll just go ahead and hop onto that. Here we are, tiny, inside this little thing. We're going to go ahead and, like I said, step by step, build a character, and then we're going to, after we have your character sheet done, we're going to play your last night as a human for our session 0.
Wow.
See how your character was embraced.
I haven't done one of those in a while.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through this step by step. Do you have a character name yet?
Yes.
Okay, what do you want to call him?
Valentino Cienfuegos.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and let you do that. Do you have a reason why you chose that name?
Well, Valentino, it's actually one of the few, very first, Mexican friends I've ever had.
Okay.
Back in high school. Cienfuegos is actually part of one of the Cuban provinces called the same.
Okay.
So.
Very cool. Do you have a concept? An idea of what you want this character to be when he's fully in the life, unlife, in the death of it all?
Legion.
A legion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you want to be like a one-man army kind of thing?
Pretty much.
Okay.
My whole concept for this guy is going to be like a full-on necromancer.
Okay.
So, reviving dead, creating zombies.
Interesting. I love that because you're planning on making a Pisanoff. Which there is a lore sheet for that. We'll go over all that. And they are known as the Ritualists.
Yeah.
That's one of the big reasons they were chosen. So we're going to go ahead and mark that down, Thicker Than Water. And I have not thought of a good Chronicle name for this yet.
The Three-Phrase Chronicle?
No, because we're not focusing on your serial killer issues.
No. I wasn't referring to that, but if you want to go that way, go ahead.
No, I was actually... I do have a Chronicle... I have a story in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And Thicker Than Water has to do with the bloodlines of Portland, Oregon. What's thicker than water? Blood.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole concept. And that's why, most of the NPCs that I
Thicker
found...
than water bloodlines?
That's too close to what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
This is going to be Thicker Than Water Black Sheep, and that's going to be revealed on why later. What is your character's ambition?
That's the part that I haven't decided on. The ambition and desire.
Okay. Well, I know I've talked to Daviga. We haven't done... This is... David's actually the first time we've sat down to do all this. But I've talked to Daviga, and he has a very interesting ambition.
Mm-hmm.
His character is going to be primarily about moving on with his life. His embrace is more like his retirement.
Wow.
Than anything. Which I'm very interested to see how that goes. But, this is something that you're going to be working towards as your prime, ambition in life.
Mm-hmm. I mean, more than anything, for the backstory that I've thought for this character, he's more of a sort of a guardian angel than anything else.
Okay.
He wants to protect the family.
Okay.
So,
So, are you like going for like on a political scale, would you be going to solidify the Hecata in Kindred society because the promise is almost up or something like that?
Pretty much.
Solidify the Hecata? Okay. I actually think that's a really good ambition. What about something a little bit less than your ambition? What's your desire?
Equality, actually.
Equality?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you like among all the clans or something?
Pretty much.
Okay. That's interesting because that sounds like you're going to be going for almost like a Hecata SJW kind of thing, like a social justice warrior for your clan.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool. That's really neat. How about predator types?
Grave Robber.
You're going to go with Grave Robber. Okay. And Grave Robber is located in Cult of the Blood Gods, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so within the Cult of the Blood Gods book, where you can find all your Hecata information, we have our new predator types, and you want to go for Grave Robber. Predator type Grave Robber, and I'm going to go ahead and put your specialize in Grave Rituals, I believe it was.
Grave Ceremonies?
Grave Rituals
is
what it says. I really like that. I like the whole concept of Grave Rituals being a thing. Now it says you also gain 1 dot in either Fortitude or Oblivion. Oblivion? Okay. So you get a free point in Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll worry about that later.
Yeah.
We'll worry about that later. And then you also you gain the Feeding Merit Iron Gullet. It's actually one of the things I like about Mr. Gon's sheets the most is that you can actually go back and edit. Mm-hmm. I've been on a lot of interactive character sheets where like you just got to start your character sheet over again if you misclick something.
Yeah.
Let's see. You gain the Haven advantage by 1 point.
Yep.
And we'll figure out all the details on that as we go. Mm-hmm. You gain the Herd Flaw Obvious Predator.
Yep.
Your cold nature makes you act in a deeply unsettling manner when hunting.
I feel like Spawn now.
So food is food. It also says that your predator pool is resolve plus medicine, sifting through the quiet dead for a body bearing rancid blood, moving among miserable mortals. For a valuable bite, uses manipulation plus insight. A cold corpse can slake up to 3 hunger, less if it was fed from, exsanguinated, or maimed before death, but suffers the same slack penalties as bagged blood. So you have 2 predator pools, depending on what you're doing, either resolve plus medicine to feed off a dead body, or manipulation plus insight to feed off a mourner.
Exsanguinated, it's a drain of blood, right?
Yeah, that means they've already been emptied. All right, so we've got all that taken care of. Got your predator stuff done. And then your generation. You have a special case for your generation because you had a particular sire in mind. Mm-hmm. And at first I was like, I don't want to do this. But the Hecata don't really seem to be suffering from the beckoning.
Yep.
And you want to go for an 8th generation character.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and allow this to happen. So we're going to go ahead and hop on the wiki for a second, just because this Mariah Diaz is the character that you were hoping to be your sire. And I was reading this, and it's really not that big of a deal. It's not a long history, so I figured we'd go ahead and go over this. Mariah Diaz is a Giovanni from the Pisanov branch that acts as a diplomat to the Sabbat in Central America. She grew up in the United States, occupied Nicaragua. At an early age, she acted as a guerrilla fighter and terror to occupying armies, skilled in crafting traps and desiccating corpses to put the fear into the hearts of American soldiers. She was infamously caught removing the internal organs from a U.S. Army lieutenant as he lay in a state of semi-sedation, aware of what was going on, but physically helpless. Pachti liberated her from prison cells shortly before her scheduled execution. That's her sire, Pashti. She is renowned as an independent vampire in Central America. Despite her fearsome reputation, she mediated relations between the Sabbat and Giovanni across Nicaragua and Honduras. She is quick to remind the Sabbat vampires that her clan destroyed their founder too. And reading that actually got me thinking. It's like, yeah. Okay, that's what actually that does make sense why the Sabbat wouldn't have messed with them that much, because they did liberate themselves from that kind of thing. So this is who you're hoping your sire can be.
Yes.
So she was born in 1913 and embraced in 1929. So that actually gives us an area of when, like, we can put your embrace. We know it can't be any time before, like, 1930. So we will figure that out. All right. So have you thought at all about how you want your attributes to be splayed out there?
I've been reading some of the necromantic rituals, and most of them actually use a lot of stamina.
Yeah, from what I understand, you're min-maxing for a ritualist here, which is a lot of fun. I like to see characters who have something in mind here. Usually, I'm massively against the idea of what I like to call twinking, but making sure your characters are like just set, like every single point goes into one thing. But I do think having a good ceremonialist is going to be very, very important when it comes to this. So, doing this, you get to take one attribute at 4. So I'm assuming you want your stamina for that?
Yeah.
Now, doing Oblivion can cause you stains also, so keep that in mind. You get to choose what's your least powerful attribute? Like, what's your biggest weakness?
Will probably be charisma.
Your charisma? That actually makes... Yeah, I can see that. I can see that, because manipulation's good for intimidation. So, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so you get to put 3 dots in 3.
In 3. Let's put 3 on... intelligence.
3 on intelligence?
Okay. Wits and resolve,
Wits and resolve. This is actually probably... Is this protection against me?
Not
because I make you guys do awareness checks so much.
No, like some of the other rituals actually use both.
Okay.
Wit and resolve.
I was just wondering.
And intelligence, just because looking up stuff.
Okay. Now the next one is going to be 4 at 2.
4 at 2. The remaining.
So yeah, the remaining are going to be at 2. So I'm going to go ahead and say we're at our skills now. And your skills, do you want to do a jack of all trades, a balanced, or a specialist character? Balanced? Okay. So you get to choose 3 skills at 3.
Occult.
I assumed.
And medicine, that's the first 2. Then the other 3 will probably be academics.
Academics? Okay. You're really going for the brainy side of this character. That's refreshing. Alright, and your next ones are going to be 5 skills at 2.
Melee, firearms, survival, intimidation, and etiquette.
Etiquette, okay. Alright, and then you get 7 at 1.
Drive, stealth, leadership. Which one's the one to either detecting lies or lying?
That'd be insight. For detecting lies, lying would be subterfuge.
Insight, politics, finance, and investigation.
Ooh, you're walking a dangerous line. No awareness.
I've been burned on that one before.
Now, the Chronicle tenants, we typically use the street code when it comes to our games. It just makes a lot of sense. So yeah, we typically use the street code, which is never snitch, respect others, and demand respect, and don't kill outsiders. And that actually kind of mixes very well with the actual like traditional mafioso code. I'm up for keeping that.
Yes.
But do you think is there anything else that you think should go?
No, I've been using that since the beginning of the Chronicle.
Okay. Your touchstones and convictions. Do you have any idea what you're going to do with that?
Mm, I would like to develop I would like to wait on those.
Okay.
Or like the very last thing.
Okay, so your bane is steeped in death. The fangs of the Hekata bring not bliss but agony. Victims caught unaware will violently resist unless restrained, and few people submit willingly to the torture that the Hekatas kiss. When drinking directly from a victim, Hekata may only take harmful drinks, resulting in blood loss. Unwilling mortals, not restrained, will try to escape, and even those coerced or willing must succeed in a stamina plus resolve test against a difficulty of 2 plus the bane severity in order not to recoil. Coerced or willing vampire victims of the Hekata bite must make a frenzy test against a difficulty of 3 to avoid falling into a terror frenzy. That's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That it's a difficulty of 3 to vampires, but it's only a difficulty of 2 to humans.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The fact that you hurt a lot.
Yeah. So it's actually kind of funny because in this book it actually does not have them have a specific name for this, except for maybe Hekata's Kiss, which I guess we'll go with. But originally that was used to be called the Curse of the Lamia.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to add a free specialty to your academics, crafts, performance, and science skills. So your academics needs to be specialized.
What's a good specialty for somebody that works in a is it a mortician? What's the work in the places where the funerals take place?
Like a funeral home?
Yeah, sort of.
Mortician. Yeah.
Because the idea that I have for him for like his current job, it's gonna be a cremation technician.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the way, because I want to leave the touchdowns and convictions in the end, is I wanted to put some points on Haven, so that, have you ever seen Sweeney Todd?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I love Sweeney Todd.
What he did with a chair.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of actually burning something goes down.
Okay.
And it's just a camera inside with a repeated recording.
Interesting. Interesting. That's really neat.
And right there I get my supply of blood and supply of bodies.
When you get your free points and stuff like that, you might want to consider a point or two in either technology or crafts for that kind of thing. But I like that idea. That's really neat. As for academics, I don't know. What would be a good academic specialty for this?
Psychology?
Huh?
Psychology?
Psychology? Or like grief counseling?
Yeah.
You know what we're going to do?
That's actually part of their job, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to go ahead and put counseling for that, unless you have anything against that.
No.
Because if that does make a lot of sense right there. Okay, so there's that. And then after that, you get to take one more free specialty of your choice anywhere you want it. I mean, you got your medicine. Yeah. That's pretty high.
Yeah, medicine would be for medicine, and I think it would be anatomy?
Anatomy?
Yeah.
All right, so now we are on disciplines.
Mm-hmm.
You get your standard clan disciplines, which are going to be Oblivion, Fortitude, and Auspex. But how long have you been embraced?
I plan for him to be embraced on the 1990s.
Okay, so since you were embraced before the family reunion, I'm going to go ahead and give you the option, just like I'm going to give everybody the option. If they're embraced before the family reunion, you can take your standard old clan disciplines, if you'd like. Which would be Oblivion, Potence, and Dominate. If you want, you can switch them around. So you have the option between Dominate, Fortitude, Auspex, and Potence. And right now, the way that this works is you get to choose 2 disciplines from your clan. And put 2 dots in one and 1 dot in the other. So,
I will stick with Oblivion and Fortitude.
Okay, Oblivion and Fortitude. So I take it you're going to put 2 in Oblivion, aren't
Yes.
you? You're going to be scary. And 1 in Fortitude. Okay, very cool. And we will work on what those levels are in just a bit, okay? Right now, your health is going to be your stamina plus 3. So you have 7 health. That's actually pretty darn... Tanky, yeah. Whoa, dude, 15 health. What are you doing? Oh, fortitude and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, Mr. Gone, what are you doing? That's mine. Just ignore it. And then our willpower is going to be your composure plus your resolve, so you get 5. So that's actually pretty
standard,
darn cool. You start at 7 humanity, I believe.
6 because of 8th generation.
Well, that's also a lot to do with like when you were embraced, and like the Ancilli character that is 11th or 10th generation says that they could have been embraced as early as 1780.
Ouch.
So, if we were saying that, you would actually lose more humanity. You would actually probably be down 2 humanity for that. So I'm not doing that.
Okay.
The Sea of Time part that they have in these books, that's one of the few things I just ignore.
All right.
Just because I think it's unfair to stipulate generation just by
age.
When you were born. Yeah. I understand that it's going to be related. But truthfully, and I'm going to say this right now, if Cain woke up right now and decided he was going to embrace someone, that 2nd generation vampire is still only getting 15 points by book rules.
Okay.
You know? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mark you down for 7 humanity because I believe that is the baseline humanity.
Yep.
I'm
surprised Grave Robber doesn't take away humanity.
Well, you're not really doing anything wrong. You're not hurting anybody.
I'm technically desecrating a corpse.
Are you? You don't have to. And also, it says that they feed on mourners more often than anything, which I can also see taking away humanity. But I don't know. We'll see how you roll. You know, like if you actually end up causing some problems. In the core book, it says that 10th or 11th generation start off at a blood potency of 2. Now it says for all of them, they give 2 examples. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with what that's saying there, and I'm going to go ahead and say that you are going to start off at a blood potency of 3.
Okay.
All right. Your blood surge
For 3, I think
is going to be add 3 dice.
Oh.
Your mend amount is going to be 2 points of superficial damage. Your power bonus is add 1 dice. So whenever you're using a discipline, you can add a dice.
Oops.
Just because your blood is more powerful.
I am blind from here. There we go.
Next is your rouse reroll, level 2 and below. So level 1 and level 2 disciplines, you can always reroll the rouse checks. And then your feeding penalty is animals and bagged bloods like no hunger. And then your bane severity is at a 3.
So my teeth hurt a lot.
Your teeth hurt a lot. Your resonance for your feeding is melancholy. We'll just leave it at that. You are allowed to eat other things, but that is going to be the thing that helps you out with the hunting the most.
Okay.
Okay? Now, I would like to get something out of the way real quick. I'm going to go ahead and give you this dice.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll it. This is something that we're doing. This is a homebrew thing.
6. What?
You put down that dice. Roll it. 1. Okay. Was that a 1 or a 7?
1.
Okay. Okay, so out of 1, you're going to get 1 free point in your family's lore sheet.
Okay.
Okay? You can put extra points into your lore sheet if you want to.
Alrighty.
Okay? And the Pisanob lore sheet is in the Cult of the Blood Gods book. Cool. Okay, so it's the children of Tenochtitlan. It says, in the early 16th century, Spanish Giovanni met representatives of the Aztec civilization as part of the Cortes exposition. In the city of Tenochtitlan, now part of Mexico City, these Giovanni were introduced to a massive, formalized necromantic tradition. So, naturally, they killed, enslaved, and converted the heathens, bringing them into the fold. Well, I guess with the Giovanni, they could kill them and still bring them into the fold. The Giovanni called these converts Pisanob, a Mayan term that roughly translates to ghosts of the dead that walk the earth. That's actually kind of cool. I like that. The fact that the Aztecs weren't Mayans didn't concern the Europeans. That these vampires already had a name, a legacy, and their own beliefs mattered little to the Giovanni. Their leader, Pochtili, am I pronouncing that right? Pochtli?
Yeah, Pochtli.
Their leader, Pochtli, was still in charge of the Pisanob up through the family reunion. However, the family had been whittled down to a bare few remaining kindred after the ongoing attacks by the Harbingers of Skulls. Although the reason for the attacks were unknown, Pochtli offered his unlife to the Harbingers in exchange for the end of the hostilities, which the Harbingers accepted. Now the remaining children of Tenochtitlan are deciding on a new leader while planning their revenge. So you are going to have some issues with Harbingers. That's kind of interesting. So you get a free point already in this. And it says here that the one that you have available at the moment is hiding from the wolf. The remaining Pisanob survive because they are really, really good at hiding. You've learned all manners of techniques to remain out of sight of those that would hunt you and those who you would hunt. You get 1 extra die on any roll to hide, including via the use of disciplines or ceremonies. So you can have that one for free if you want to, or you can dump extra points into
I'm
this.
probably going to dump a little bit of extra points on that.
Okay. So there's also Ghostly Instincts that says that the original Kindred embraced in Tenochtitlan were extremely talented necromancers, and they have carried on a wide variety of tips, tricks, and secrets among their brethren. You've learned some of those secrets, which give you 2 additional dice on any Oblivion roll involving the summoning, controlling, and destruction of ghosts. So that's extra power in your Oblivion. Forward thinking. After years of being... I'm going to do all these later. Like,
I think you've already done this one.
I don't know if I've done this one yet. No, I haven't done any of the... I haven't done any of the Cult of the Blood God ones. Yeah, go ahead and check this out. Figure out which one you'd like, and we'll do that. I'm not going to read these because I still have to do the lore sheet. So the one that you want is Necromantic Prodigy. The secrets of Oblivion are yours to command, whether through study, your ancient bloodline, or secrets that you have acquired from your cousins over the years. Your mastery of necromantic ceremonies is unparalleled. You get 2 automatic successes on any roll necessary for the activating of necromantic Oblivion ceremonies. Nice! That is really, really good. So you only paid 3 for that.
All right.
Okay, so you still have 4 points to put into this if you want to. So what do you think for others? Do you want to look through?
For how many points you said more? 3 or 4?
4. You get 4 more.
I'm gonna put 2 on to Haven.
Now keep in mind merits also count as backgrounds.
Yes.
I have a question. Are you going to be an open Pisanob? Are people going to know what you are?
After the sitting? Yes.
You are going to be?
After this, if the story takes place after the sitting? Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you needed a mask or not.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want any kind of influence? Any kind of contacts? Resources?
Resources, actually, yes.
Okay.
To run a business, you need some resources.
Okay. How much?
The remaining dots, 2.
And you have to take 2 points in flaws. Are you considering Organivore?
Yes.
You.
Just make it smoothie.
I mean, you don't have to. I was just looking at it.
I mean, I was discussing this like back on the Discord channel, actually.
Were you?
Yeah. It's like, what would happen if I picked up Organivore for the feeding flaw, but picked up the merit eating food?
Well, I think you automatically get it.
Mm.
I think you have to take it.
Does it come with the flaw? Or?
I think so. I think so. I'm looking that up right now. You can slake hunger only by eating human flesh, organs, especially those rich in blood, such as the heart, liver, lungs, placenta, and spleen. Most Organivore kindred, these knights, make smoothies from their organs first. Only the heart provides resonance, if any.
All right.
Okay, so it doesn't say that you have to take it. I think you used to have to. I think that was like an old thing in an earlier edition if you took Flesh Eater.
Huh.
It is a 2-point flaw. That would cover all of your points if you decided to take that. Just going to buy an industrial blender and
pretty
have
much.
margarita parties at the
Pretty
funeral
much,
home every
yeah.
night. Okay.
And it's still a liquid.
Delicious.
It's just extra thick, that's all.
You just... God. Back in the days when wine flowed... Back in the days when blood flowed like wine and flesh flowed like much thicker wine. Have you ever seen Nether Beast Incorporated?
Yes.
It's freaking amazing. Okay, so that's all your stuff as far as flaws go. Your Haven. You've got 3 points in Haven.
Yes.
Are those all the structure of Haven itself, or are you putting anything in the extra Haven bits?
Extra Haven bits.
Extra Haven bits? Okay. You're going to have to take 1 point in the actual Haven rating. And then what do you want in your Haven?
Watchman.
Okay.
Which will be the workers, pretty much.
What do you mean the workers? Like the people who work at the funeral home?
Yeah.
Okay, so you actually live in a funeral home.
Yes.
You either have private security or criminal thugs guarding your Haven. Each dot of this merit applies 4 average guards and 1 gifted boss. If guards would be conspicuous here, buy this merit cautiously. Okay, so you're thinking the people who actually work for you are going to be your...
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm cool with that. All right, so you have 1 more.
Postern.
Postern, so a back exit.
Yeah.
Okay, we will go ahead and do that. You do get 1 boss for your Watchman. It says you get 4 guards and 1 boss.
So the way I wanted to do it was, if you're okay with it, since all the bloodlines are together because the sitting is, could I make a blood supply deal with the Putinetska, and they provide muscle?
Okay, so you want to have Putinetska who work in your place? You could possibly do that. I don't see a problem with doing that. Do you want them to be part of your touchstones or anything?
Yeah.
Okay. So like one of your guards. I actually do have an old NPC that I have not used yet who worked in a funeral home.
That's perfect.
If you want him to be your
second in command.
Second command kind of thing. He's actually. Have you ever seen the show 6 Feet Under?
No.
No? You should check that out. It's about a family who runs a funeral home.
All right.
It's very interesting. But one of the characters he ran the funeral home. Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
I never considered him a Putinetska, but I guess he could be a Putinetska if you want him to be. So
the Putinetska are like in really good relations right now with the Giovanni. So
well, the Putinetska are the they're the dirty crime
Yeah.
aspect. The face of the family is the Giovanni themselves. Originally, this NPC was named Michael Fisher Giovanni.
Okay.
But I can change his name to Putinesca.
That's fine.
So I'll put down Michael and just put P. And what's his conviction? Like, what does he represent to you?
Loyalty, pretty much.
Loyalty?
Yeah.
Okay, so this conviction should probably be always be loyal to those who are loyal to you.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. All right. How many convictions do you want? Because you can take up to 3.
Up to 3. One's pretty good right now.
You just want to do the one?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. This means that that will be your one thing that lets you override stains and stuff like that when it comes to like breaking your chronicle tenets and stuff like that. If you're being loyal, then you can basically override stains and stuff. Okay, so we need to figure out what your actual powers are going to be. What kind of fortitude were you thinking? Were you thinking physical, or were you thinking
mental fortitude? Yes.
Mental?
Yes.
Ooh. I'm kind of excited about that. I don't think we've seen much of it, and I love the new ruling on fortitude when it comes to that. Fortitude. Okay, so you are going to take unswayable mind. Cool. That actually works really well for a Giovanni extended family member, because the Giovanni were so big on dominate. So you're just like, screw you. I like that. Oblivion. Now, as a Pisanob, I am giving you something for the Pisanob. All the families are going to get something. David's not getting special treatment. And that is, I am not going to hold you to prerequisites when it comes to ceremonies, because the Pisanob are so intense on their ceremonies. Because of their backgrounds, I'm going to let you take whatever Oblivion you want and take whatever ceremonies you want. So, and that means you can take raw Oblivion, the somber Oblivion, or you can take regular Necromantic Oblivion. I would assume that you're going to want to lean towards Necromantic Oblivion anyway, because it has more to do with ghosts and stuff.
I don't have to like worry about their prerequisites of the ceremonies.
Yeah.
I've been reading some of the Hekata Oblivion.
Hekata Oblivion's beautiful. It really is.
And I saw 2 that I really liked.
Okay, what'd you see?
The first level of Oblivion, which will be Ashes to Ashes.
Ashes to Ashes, where you can disintegrate a body effectively.
It has to be a cadaver of a non-kindred.
Yes, you cannot use this on a regular vampire. So you want to take Ashes to Ashes as your level 1? Cool. You got a level 2, so you can always go backwards. Or you could take Cloak of Shadows, Oblivion Sight, Shadowcast, or Arms of Aramane.
I do have a sensible slide for arms. Yeah, let's pick up arms.
You're taking arms, God, you said. Okay.
I need a long range weapon.
Oh my God. Alright, so he's taking Arms of Aramane. I do want to point out again that the reason I'm doing this is because I see Oblivion as one discipline. I see it as the Hekata Oblivion being more involved in the resonance, the residents of the underworld, where Oblivion for the La Sombra is more of the world itself, the world of the dead itself. So basically, this is raw, unstructured power, where the other one is more like scholarly. That's the only reason I'm allowing this. That, and I don't want everybody in the game to have the exact same character sheets. All right, and then you get a level 3 as well.
Aura of Decay.
Aura? Wow, you're just jumping. You didn't even have to think about that one.
That's the like ashes to ashes and aura of decay. That were the two main ones.
Aura of Decay. So, do we have your true age?
He was born on.
Yeah, what's your date of birth?
Would pretty much be. Let's make it the Day of the Dead.
November 1st, 1955.
God.
That's the date of the famous Hill Valley lightning storm. No, I think that was November 5th, 1955. I don't remember.
Let's make it 58.
58? Okay. All right, when were you embraced?
93.
Okay. All right, and so your apparent age is 40-ish?
Yeah.
I'm going to put ish. And...
We're currently 2022?
Yep.
Well, 2021. Technically. I don't know if you were going to go back in time a little bit.
No, I'm going to do 2022. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So, 2022... You're 64. Okay. And your appearance, all I really want for appearance is who your avatar is going to be, what actor you would use for your character if they were making a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I have something to put up on the videos.
His actor name is Emilio Rivera.
And do you have any distinguishing features or anything you want to have that anybody needs to know about?
Not really.
Not really? Okay. So for appearance, we don't really have to fill anything in. Do you have a character history you'd like to put in?
Yeah. Actually, I do.
I'm going to go ahead and let you do your thing. So we've got a nice little blurb about the history here. Known in his hometown for eviscerating cartel members coming through and selling drugs around his turf, he came to be captured and almost killed by Pablo Escobar himself until he was rescued by his sire. So that's what I have to go with for my session 0. That's fun. Do you have any possessions that he would keep on himself? Any kind of weapons or anything like that?
Weapons.
Well, I guess weapons are down here.
Mm-hmm. Most likely gonna be brass knuckles and a revolver.
A revolver. Brass knuckles +1. They're actually in there as brass knuckles. As a medium gunshot, which would fall under the same category as a 9mm pistol or a shotgun.
Really, a shotgun?
Yeah, that's what it says. There's also heavy shotguns and stuff down here. But, like, you're not into a 357 Magnum or a 12 gauge kind of territory. You're in more of, like, the PPK and the 9mm and all that. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a +3 to damage value. Are there any non-weapon items you might carry on yourself?
A crucifix.
Crucifix?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And a motorcycle cut.
A what?
A cut. The jacket.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like a leather jacket?
Yeah.
You're a mortician.
I do stuff outside.
You're allowed to have a hobby. You're an enthusiast.
I'm allowed to have a hobby.
It's fine. It's fine. You're an enthusiast. Okay, there is one other thing that I want to check out. And that's actually checking out what we can do with your ceremonies. Ceremonies each have prerequisite oblivion powers, which you, sir, are going to ignore. This requirement acts as a gateway for necromancers that blood sorcerers need not pass through. So in other words, you're going to have blood sorcerer rules for your necromancy. At character creation, a player can choose one level 1 ceremony if they have at least 1 dot in Oblivion Power noted as a prerequisite for the ceremony. I am going to go ahead and break this rule.
Okay.
Because this is going to be a rather short thing. I'm going to go ahead and let you have a ceremony per dot of Oblivion you have. So I'm going to let you start with 3 different ceremonies.
Sweet.
Okay. So under ceremonies, we have the Gift of False Life. This allows you to raise a single corpse or group of corpses for one repetitive task. So in the old system, this was called apprentice brooms.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a zombie get up and sweep the floor.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. You also have access to summon spirit, which is going to do exactly what it says. You can summon a wraith. Now, it does say that you need a fetter to do that.
Let's go with gift.
You want gift of false life?
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes with the theme, I guess.
You can go back and take other ones, just like before. Does not matter to me. For level 2, we have Awaken the Homuncular Servant. Necromancers can use this ceremony to create spies and stalkers of out of body parts, hands, skulls, small dead animals, rats, foxes.
So the guy, the hand from Adam's.
Yeah. You can also take Compel Spirit, where the ceremony allows a vampire to bend a wraith to their will. You're effectively able to dominate a wraith, but you have to be able to summon them first.
Once I encounter one, that's a whole different thing.
Exactly.
Let's pick up Homuncular Servant.
Homuncular Servant.
Question of the Homuncular Servant.
Yes.
Does it have to be a fresh body part, or it could be like
Good question.
aged like a mummy?
I don't see why you can't have it aged.
Because aged like a mummy, it wouldn't leave it like have a trace of smell.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We're gonna ignore the prerequisite because that doesn't matter. Ingredient says the required body part or animal carcass, weapon used to sever or kill it. It's gonna smell anyway. Small concoction of urine, fecal matter, and semen.
Oh, never mind. It is gonna smell like weird.
The caster coats the blade or other device for the task in the gross cocktail of bodily fluids. Okay. I'm looking through this, and it does not say anything about it needing to be fresh.
Okay.
So you could actually kill something and then let it sit for a little while and then do it if you wanted to. This is actually kind of an interesting one because this was a thaumaturgy ritual before V5.
Huh.
This was something that the Tremere could do. Okay, so then we're on level 3.
And I know exactly.
What do you want? You seem excited.
Oh, you'll see it. You'll see the name. Just by reading the name, you'll know.
Not Host Spirit.
Nope.
Shambling Hordes?
Yup.
Nothing like a horde of zombies. Alright, so you're going to take those. I just realized something. Looking at this character sheet, this beautifully constructed character sheet, on this whole thing, I'm going to go ahead and give you 3 XP for today.
Alrighty.
Okay, this is going to be us building the character sheet and running through your whole thing. But what I'm realizing while I'm looking at this, and I'm going back up to see if I'm wrong, you know what's not here?
What?
The one thing that is not on Mr. Gon's character sheet is your clan compulsion. That is the one thing.
If I remember right, it would be if there's like something dead or a body.
Oh yeah,
it's
morbidity.
It,
Yeah, no, it's morbidity. I know what it is, but I just thought it was interesting that it's not here. Hikata morbidity. So it says that the Hikata are possessed of a particular curiosity paired with the detachment from compassion and empathy, likely due to their frequent dealings with corpses and the wraiths of those who died tragic deaths. Their blood urges them to study the individuals around them for signs of illness, frailty, and impending death, until they have either predicted a death without supernatural means or solved the cause of a local one. The vampire suffers a 3 dice penalty to other rolls until the end of the scene. Not that their conclusions do not need to be absolutely correct, but should stay within the boundaries of possibility. So you have to either
solve a
No, and it's interesting here because there is actually ways that the Hekata can figure that stuff out using Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not allowed to use Oblivion.
If you use it, you're still under.
It's like, I gotta do this without it. It's interesting.
I cannot cheat.
It's interesting. So we have a very good character sheet. It's very filled out here. I like the fact that that everything came together. I'm sad. Like, I really wish there was something other than title here. Just because, like, I hate the fact that there's an empty spot.
I think, like, title will be, like, a nickname or something.
So, here's where we go now. As always, I'm going to give you 35 extra XP to throw onto this character sheet at character creation. I believe it's 35. Mm-hmm. I want to double check. I always... like I said, we don't listen to the Sea of Time thing. 15... Yeah, I give everybody the Ancilli stuff. So I'm going to give you guys 35 experience traits that you have to spend as if they are actual experience. Yeah. They're not freebie points. So 35 plus 3, so you get 38 points to go ahead and put into your sheet. So if you would like to have at and play, I will tell you costs of things.
So we said we needed to pick up a little bit more technology to actually do the functioning furnace.
To have your mechanism, it's a good idea to take either technology or crafts.
Technology would actually be a
technology?
I'm not a La Sombra anymore, so I don't have problems with technology anymore.
Okay, that's very true.
So let's make it 9 XP because 2 dots of technology.
You're looking at skills?
Yes.
New level times 3. So the first level is going to be 3 dots.
The other one's going to be...
Alright, so yep, that would be 9.
So you said 35 or 30?
I'm going to give you 38 points. Because you got 3 for tonight.
Let's do 9 more for 2 dots of awareness.
That's a good idea in my game.
Yeah. Let's do -3 for a dot of streetwise. Would reviving corpses of animals require animal can?
No.
Okay.
No. That's going to be your occult.
Mm-hmm.
Animal can would be more for dealing with live animals.
Okay. Brawl.
Brawl's not a bad idea.
Let's do 3 for 1 dot of athletics. And what was and you said I could pick up...
Your options for Hekata are going to be Auspex, Dominate, or Potence.
And you said because of my bloodline I could pick up Old Hekata.
That would be the Potence and the Dominate.
Okay. Let's go Potence.
Potence. Okay, so that's 1 dot in Potence. And what dot in Potence? Your options are Lethal Body, which using this power, the user is capable of causing horrendous damage to mortals and vampires. I'm saying and vampires because it says that vampires can't use... You basically ignore armor.
Okay.
And you do ag to humans. There's that and there's Soaring Leap.
Let's go.
Are you a necromantic grasshopper?
As much as I would love to do that, let's go with Lethal Body.
Okay. Alright, so we have a fully kitted out character here.
Yep.
And I went ahead and I let you spend your XP that you already earned there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there because you've spent it. And we'll take one good look over the character to make sure that everything's done.
Yep.
Valentino, Cien
Fuegos.
I'm bad with...
I can teach you Spanish if you want.
I would love to learn Spanish,
it's
actually.
Easy. It's really easy to learn it.
You have the concept of Legion. We're playing in the Black Sheep, Thicker Than Water. Solidify the Hekata in Kindred Society. And clan equality. How does your Solidify the Hekata ambition work when you know that the Harbingers want you dead? Do you consider them part of the Hikata? Do you want them gone?
Want them gone.
Because
it's a clan in general, like, plan that they're doing to get rid of them.
Okay. What's going to happen if when you're teamed up with this group of people that you have to work with in this plot line, one of them ends up being a harbinger?
A harbinger? I would probably have to swallow my pride and wait to the right opportunity to do something.
There you go. You got clan equality, and your predator type is grave robber. You're an 8th generation. You have a pretty famous sire. You've got a really good layout of dice here. That's so crazy. Yeah, your dice pools are looking pretty sick. Chronicle tenets are figured out. Touchstones, you have 1 conviction and 1 touchstone. Is that what you want to leave at? Okay. Okay, you got Hikata's Kiss and Hikata Morbidity. Ashes to Ashes, Arms of Airmain, because we're allowing you to take into it. I actually, and this goes for anybody, I do not care in my games ever if a Hikata chooses to take La Sombra Oblivion. They just usually would not have access to ceremonies if they did that thing. You, on the other hand, being a Pissanob, I'm going to allow it.
Like, the main reason I picked up Arms of Airmain, it's such a versatile discipline.
Yeah.
You could use it for almost anything.
I completely agree, and it's nice to have a little bit of control over the world also, the death world.
Like, it literally could combo out with Aura of Decay. You can hold them in place while the Aura of Decay causes damage to them.
True. I like that. I like that a lot. You got your Unswayable Mind, which is really great. I think that really does mean a lot to the Pissanob family, because they were dominated to nothing.
Yeah.
Potence, Lethal Body, it kind of shows your remnants of what you were before. And everything I consider an in-clan discipline, so you don't have to worry about paying out-of-clan costs later.
All right.
Your haven is set up pretty well. You're going to be living, I assume, in the funeral home.
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very cool. And then you've got your background and everything is figured out. You got your lore sheet. You are 2 traits up in all Oblivion tests, I believe. That's
2 automatic successes, yeah.
That's right, 2 automatic successes. That's even better. That's not you get extra dice to roll. That means you win 2 automatic. That's great. See, Iron Gullet is a good flaw. Or merit, actually, I guess. You got a really good history going on there. It's nice, short, sweet, and to the point. I like the fact that it shows. Are you going to be from like a small Mexican town?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Do you have one in mind, or?
Not really. There's so many that usually have the same like backstory.
Okay.
There's so many that were actually built by Escobar himself, just to have a way to spend money for the taxes, and actually use them as some of the houses built as like safe houses.
Okay.
For them and storing drugs and all that stuff.
All right. I'm taking it that your character is a very religious individual.
Yeah.
Mexico, I'm assuming Catholic.
Yeah.
You've got your brass knuckles and your revolver. You're good with your weapons?
Yep.
Okay. And then you've got your gift of false life, your awaken the homuncular servant, and your shambling hordes, which again, I'm pointing out because I don't want anybody in the comments telling me that I'm doing this wrong. I am allowing him to take things without the prerequisites on purpose because he's a Pissanob. I am also going to allow anybody who decides to play a Lamia, who is backdoor entrance into being a Bahari on top of that, to take the blood sorcery rituals of the Bahari as their ceremonies instead. So I am doing this on purpose. And that is
so they have like the access to the Sabbat book too?
No. The Bahari powers in Cult of the Blood Gods, they have 2 rituals. They have one where if they throw seeds on the ground, they can make them grow and the vines come up and attack who's ever attacking. So they have that power over plants. They also have the ability, my favorite one is the level 5. They stand in an area barefoot on the soil and they draw blood from every living creature around them
So they're blunt benders now?
But so little that no one notices.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really, really neat. As long as something is touching the ground, they can feed off them without knowing. Without anybody knowing. Alright, so we have your character. They're all set. We've broken some rules. I don't care. It's how it's supposed to be right now. So we're going to go ahead and print this out, and then we're going to go ahead and play through your final day.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright.